All right, what's up, guys? It's Kwaku from SeekTheGreatness.com, a channel that's all about applied self-investment. We are here on day 8. It's 10:24 p.m., so this is late, but we're still doing this. Still here. I'm telling you, this is not an easy challenge, but still here. All right, so today's ad, we are looking at Joe Carbo, the lazy man's way to riches. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. This ad is kind of outdated. It's another classic ad. I mean, we'll break it down for its copywriting aspects, but I'm gonna tell you some things where like this wouldn't fly today if you were trying to write a sales letter than this, because this guy was like the first guy to take this unique angle of like, here's a way to get rich and it's quick and easy, and this is for the lazy person to get rich. So this guy was one of the pioneers of like almost something for nothing. I mean, nothing for something kind of deal. But he did. I read the book too. It is a really good product. It really is a good book, and he backs it up. But he was like the first person to take the approach of like, yeah, if you look at this headline, "The Lazy Man's Way to Riches." So it was such a unique concept. It was so wild because at that time, that whole concept during the 70s was like you had to work hard to, you had to work hard to get to where you want. And he was one of the first pioneers. Joe Carbo was like, nah, fuck that. You can make more money working less. And it's been swiped, it's been copied, it's been like kind of perverted into all of these guys who make all these big claims into like so this is what a lot of people copied. But like I said, his style of writing and the whole big idea behind this ad was perverted. And that's why when you see something like, you know, when you see all these get rich quick schemes, that's why people are like so fast to dismiss it. And it's because of this ad. So again, I'm just saying there are some things that might not fly today, but we're looking at this from a copywriting principle. So that was like my intro. It's like my little rant. Let's just get into the breakdown. All right. So, and as I said before we begin, make sure you join the Copywriting Hacks group and the Black Copywriter Coalition. I'll put those links in the description, so make sure you check them out. All right. The Lazy Man's Ways to Riches. Let's look at the headline and let's break it down. The Lazy Man's Way to Riches. And then it follows with the subhead, most people are too busy earning a living to make any money. That definitely hits home. I feel that right there. Well, okay, so is this headline urgent? I say yes, this is urgent if you're lazy. If you're a person who is like tired of working so many hours and you just wish there was a way to create a system that makes money while you sleep, then yes, this is urgent. I said, you know, if you're lazy, there's now finally a way for you to earn your riches. So you might want to pay attention to this. This is urgent to you. Is it useful? I said, yeah, the headline provides a unique angle to riches. So it's useful to the lazy person because it was very, very unique angle at this time. But again, if you try and write an ad like this today, you're just gonna get dismissed and shut out of the water because there's so many people taking this kind of route. So be warned. Is the headline unique? It's unique for its time because it provides a different way of getting rich. This is the because, like I said, the conventional idea was like you had to work really hard to get rich, and that's not necessarily the case. You can work hard, you can put in a lot of time and effort, but now you can create systems that make you money while you sleep. So, I mean, you still have to work hard, but then you don't have to work hard forever. Is it ultra specific? It's specific and tailored to the lazy man. So it's kind of specific in that sense, but it's not that ultra specific. And then we move on to the rule of one. The focal point is related to the headline. Is the focal point related to the headline? Yeah. When it just says this is the lazy man's way to riches because most people are too busy earning a living to make any money. to make any real money. So the one sentence summary, and it just goes back to the subhead. Most people are too busy earning a living to make any money. So people are, this really hits home because people are working for other people and they're not working on their own businesses or dreams or things that they want. They're not working on skills that can make them money down the line. So they just go and get a job. They get up 9 to 5, get a paycheck, come and do the whole thing all over again. So definitely hits home. One sentence, that that line hits me for real. So awareness is the approach of the copy direct or direct. Direct. I say it's direct in the sense that the readers may be aware of their laziness and they want a quick solution to the problem. Right? Everyone wants a quick solution to their problem. People want it quick and fast and easy. So keep that in mind. I also say it's indirect because Carbo writes like he has to prove himself, and he has to prove himself to, and he has to prove himself, and he has to show that his lazy man method uh, works to the readers who are unaware of who he is or why he's saying you can be rich, you can be a lazy man and be rich. So what lead is being used? This is definitely a proclamation lead. Um, I've highlighted an example in the copy, like, after all, why should you care if I make $9.50 profit if I can show you how to make a lot more? So that's what he says in this copy right there. After all, yeah. So let's move on to the PAS, problem, agitate, solution. Problem is a problem that your product service solves easily identified. So yeah, the ad goes on to knock down objections on what it takes to be rich, right? So if you're saying like, oh, you need to be a lazy, you can be, this is the lazy man's riches, and someone would be like, bullshit, but then he goes on to say, it doesn't require education. I'm a high school graduate. It doesn't require capital. When I started out, I was so deep in debt that the lawyer friend advised bankruptcy as the only way out. He was wrong. So he's thinking about all of these problems that people are gonna think that have, like, if I need to be rich, I need to be smart, I need to have a lot of education, I need capital. I just like, it's everything is set against me, and he's kind of like breaking that down as you go through the copy. So he shows you don't need this, you don't need that. He says you just need to believe in yourself. Like I said, that kind of copy wouldn't fly today, but you know, you do need to believe in yourself. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't, from my perspective, it's not just belief, it's also taking action. Agitate. Does the copy poke at the reader's pain points? Yeah, I think so. The subhead really hits home. Again, most people are too busy earning a living to make any money. So that can really, it's a very emotional line. That can really just like open up some type of like emotional impact for someone. I mean, it definitely has an emotional impact on me. So, solution. Does the copy identify clearly that there is a solution to the reader's problem and that you are the person capable of helping them solve that problem? So yes, there is a secret to getting rich. The solution, it's the lazy man's way, but it's a secret. You have to like buy the book to know more. But he shows that um, and he shows that right here. I'll show you just how I did it the lazy man's way, a secret I've shared with just a few friends until now. So that is his solution. Um, but like I said, but the reader just has to like believe the writer or has to believe in himself. The claim, make peace, big four. Let's go. Does your headline grab the reader by the balls? I'm like, yeah, because it definitely speaks to anyone who feels like they're lazy, they're struggling with working hard, or like things are too much for them. This is finally your solution. So, like, yes, you're the lazy man, and here's a solution to your problem. Like, there's actually a way for you to like put in some work, even if you're a lazy person. Does this stoke curiosity? Because yes, like people are asking themselves, how does the lazy man get rich? You know, you would definitely want to know. Is there a big promise? The writer promises to make the reader rich for just $9 and 50 cents. What what if I'm so sure that you will make money my lazy man's way that I'll make you the world's most unusual guarantee? So that is his big promise. He's like, I will make you rich, or or else with this guarantee, you know. So does the lead expand on the headline? I said yes. Like I used to work hard, the 18-hour days, the 7-day weeks, but I didn't start making big money until I did less, a lot less. So that's what he says in the copy. Um, does the opening reinforce the promised benefit? Yes. What if I'm so sure that you will make money my lazy man's way that I'll make you the world's most unusual guarantee? So he's reinforcing that benefit, like this is so cheap. I'm selling this secret to you for so cheap, because he also goes on to say like he's kind of ballsy, you know, because for example, this ad took about 2 hours to write. With a little luck, it should earn me 50, maybe $100,000. So he knows that he can sell it for this cheap to this many people because he's gonna make a lot of money off of it. Uh, so that is the reinforced benefit. That's the promised benefit. Does the opening continue to arouse curiosity in the reader? Yes, I'll show you just how I did it the lazy man's way, a secret I shared with just a few friends till now. So like he keeps that curiosity going. He never reveals what the secret is. Obviously, you have to buy the book. But he keeps that curiosity all the way throughout the copy. Is the copy believable? Does the copy establish credibility? Is the copy believable? So I said somewhat because the writer has shown how the lazy man's way has worked for him personally. It's like he goes on to say, I live in a home that's worth 100,000. We have stocks, bonds, investments, cash in the bank, but the most important thing I have is priceless: time with my family. So yeah, he's showing that how he's improved in his life with the lazy man's way method. What does the copy do to prove to the reader that you are a credible person of authority who should be paid attention to? So the writer also used some form of like testimonial in his copy, you know, because he's talking about himself. I have this house, I've got money in the bank, all that stuff, and he's just bragging about himself, right? So that can really throw, if you just have a lot of more eyes in your use in your copy, that's going to like throw the reader off. So he does have some testimonial here, and it says, sworn statement. I have examined this advertisement on the basis of personal acquaintance with Mr. Joe Carbo for 18 years and my professional relationship as his accountant. I certify that every statement is true. Accountant's name available upon request. So if you think all of this is bullshit, you can find out who his accountant is, and you can ask his accountant, "Yo, show me his finances and all this stuff." You know, so this is really, really some. This is like a very, very powerful testimonial, and it also adds credibility because if you're calling bullshit, you know, you can always talk to his accountant. So that was genius. I think that was really genius. That's my favorite part of the copy, because once you always establish credibility, because this ad is so repelling to me because it's just like the lazy man's way to riches, and I'm thinking bullshit, 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 bullshit. So when he shows me like, all right, you can talk to my accountant, and I'm like, all right, cool, I will talk to your accountant. So it takes risk away from that as well. So so that's cool. Does the copy offer a bribe? Is there a bribe in place to convince the reader they must read on? What if I'm so sure that you will make money my lazy man's way that I'll make you the world's most unusual guarantee? Um, yeah, so he's like, yeah, what guarantee are you talking about? And you just keep on reading. And then you also want to know, what is the lazy man's way of getting rich? Okay, now we're moving on to the 8 useful components to look for upfront. Is the offer promised new? So yes, the offer is kind of new. Like, well, it's not new. It's like just pay $10, you get my book or my material. I don't know why I said yes, but it was new because of the approach. It's like a new way to get rich for the lazy man. So That's why it's also unique. Is the offer promise unique? Yeah. Learn how to be rich, even if you're lazy, right? Again, this was very early in the 70s. This was like a new approach to like getting rich. Is the offer promise safe to invest in? Yes, because it reduces risk to the reader. He goes on to say, let me show you right here. He says he won't cash your check for 31 days after it's in the mail. So, but don't deposit my check or money order for 31 days after it's in the mail. So that's what he says. Where was it? Right here. I'm trying. And here it is. This is like he's talking about his guarantee, right? And here it is. I won't even cash your check or money order for 31 days after I've sent you my material. So even after you've paid for the book, again, you have 31 days, like, or he won't, you have 31 days to decide. He won't cash your check until 31 days. So it definitely reduces risk to the reader. Is the offer promise easy to use, implement? Yeah. It's used in an order device. So he uses an order device and he's like, yes, send me this. And he's trying to get the persons to like co-opt or give consent that they want this book. Is the offer promise simple? Yeah, simple, straightforward with the order device. Is the offer promise fast to deliver results? Yeah. Order my lazy man way, reap the rewards, reap the benefits, pay $9.50. Um, is the offer promise providing results that are predictable? Yeah, he's saying you are bound to get rich if you use the lazy man's way. Um, is the offer promise providing something big? Yes, you'll be rich beyond your wildest dreams if you order the lazy man's way. So again, very, very straightforward stuff. The 8 useful components hidden in your copy. Does the copy provide proof for every promise and claim made? Uh, Not really. Aside from him bragging about his success and use, the strongest proof, or the strongest like proof or testimonial was when he uses his accountant as a testimonial and his accountant to provide some type of credibility, and then he goes on to show you how the lazy man has worked for him. Like, I live in $100,000 home. My office is about a mile and a half from my home. It's right on the beach. My view is breathtaking. I have a mountain cabin. I have a cabin in the mountains. I paid $30,000 for it in cash. I have 2 boats and a Cadillac, all paid for. We have stocks, bonds. He's showing you that like all of this has worked for him. So that's that's the only like proof, and I have. And then he's also using his accountant to show you that he's not bullshitting, right? All the claims that he's making can work for you. Does the copy use picture words to provide a snapshot of the reader in the future benefiting from having bought and used this product or service? Yeah, because the copy psychs up the reader and tells him he doesn't need to be rich. He doesn't need to have like some extensive training. He doesn't need to have capital and all that stuff. He just needs to believe in himself and take action by buying the book. And then he also tries to like he's also trying to get the person to think about like, wow, what would it be like to have my office on the beach? What would it be like to have a mountain in the cabin? What would it be like to have all these assets, bonds, stocks, cash, all that? Like, yeah, man, like, and you're telling me that I don't I don't have to work that hard. I can still, you're telling me I can still be lazy and make all this money and have all this shit. Well, sign me up, buddy. Tell tell me now. Tell me how a lazy man gets rich. so, uh, so yeah, I only that's the only form of proof that I see. The fact that he's shown how his life has worked for him, and and what else? Like his accountant, strong, which was a strong proof, by the way. Can you identify exactly when the offer is being made? I'll prove it to you if you send in the coupon now. That's when the offer comes in. So right here, I'll prove it to you if you send in the coupon now. That's it right there. Does the copy reduce risk to the reader? Yes, it does. As we discussed, it won't even cash your check or money order for 31 days after I've sent you my material. Is the call to action asking for a sale clear and concise? Yes. Send me the lazy man's way to riches, but don't deposit my check or money for 31 days after it's in the mail. Does the copy summarize the offer towards the end? Yes. I'll prove it to you if you send in the coupon now. So I know a lot of this stuff is repetitive, but it's supposed to like really make sure you understand the anatomy of how of like or the patterns of like writing your copy. So I like why this breakdown keeps asking you the questions over and over again because it reinforces it. But all right, so let's summarize this breakdown. Like I said, this was a winning ad because it had a very unique angle of being rich. It wasn't about working hard, it was about working less. It was about using creating content that created wealth, that generated wealth over time. It was about creating systems. This was one of the first ads. I have the book, right? And the book teaches you ways to make passive income. And this was starting from the 70s. So that was and in a sense, that was the lazy man's way of getting rich. Put in the work, create something that will create wealth over time because the book was a bestseller. So that's what it is. Put in the work, create systems that make you money while you sleep, right? And then that whole angle was just perverted into like by this type of ad was swiped, copied, and people were really perpetrating this bullshit of like, oh, you could get rich really quick, you just you I don't know, you only need to write one letter and then everything is okay and you get rich fast and like just send me all this money and like and then a lot of there was a lot of 419 with this thing, like a lot of like Nigerian princes like perverted this whole thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this angle won't work today unless you provide a lot of proof, unless you provide a lot of like case studies, demonstrations to show how your systems work. Um, so I like the fact that he had his accountant vouch for him or show that like, or his accountant was saying, I've known this guy for 18 years. If you don't if you think all this is bullshit, you can request the information. You can request my name. If you want more proof. So keep that in mind. All right. So that was the breakdown for the lazy man's way to riches. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't joined, make sure you join the Copywriting Hacks groups, the Copywriting Hacks group, and the Black Copywriter Coalition. I'll put all those links in the description. Peace.